Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katy.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, winner of the 2024 Best of the Tri-State Award.
Our first guest today, we have the Executive Director from the Tuscarora Area Chamber of Commerce. We have Kendra Thompson. Thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And you've been with you were just saying a couple seconds ago, you're fairly new to your role of Executive Director. What does your role look like?
Going in, one of the things I noticed, everything was pretty much set because the chambers all have executive directors that take care of all of the different processes. So I had a good template to work from. One of the things I'm trying to do, though, is the new executive director, and I've only been there about 5 months, so everything's rather new, and I'm just getting my feet under me, so I'm still learning some things as we go along. But one of the things I'm doing is really trying to bring the entire processes up to a more automated type of version rather than to go with the old, snail mailing out different things. We're using a nice website with different automated features on it, and so I'm trying to do that.
And you said that there were a few new features at the chamber. One of them being the lunch and learn. Mm-hmm. Walk us through what that is.
So we just started that back in June. And what that is basically it's an opportunity for business owners or their employees to come to specific lunch and learns that have topics that would be of interest to them. And it could be anything from health, it could be best business practices, it could be something like safety in your business, insurances. We have the new Medicare open enrollment coming up, so we're going to have a lunch and learn on that as well. So it's just things that would be of interest to basic business owners and their employees. So they come, we provide a lunch for them, generally lasts about an hour and a half, and we have a speaker. Sometimes the speaker will just speak the entire time, and there might be a little Q&A session at the end. And other times, depending upon the topic, they may actually engage the audience and ask them specific questions about their business or any challenges they might have, and then we'll address it accordingly.
How do you come up with the topics that you'll have for the lunch and learn? Do the businesses say to you, hey, I'd really like to have a lunch and learn about XYZ?
That's kind of how it's going now, because when we first started in June, we kind of actively sought different speakers to come in. And now that we've had a few under our belt, I do have other business owners coming to me and saying, hey, I have a topic might be of interest. Can I consider, going on the schedule for November, maybe January, something like that. And then we'll put it out.
Almost like a trial by fire. I just had to put out this fire, so I think I would be very well versed in talking about this.
Yes, exactly.
And that's good. I think when you can share experiences, because we've had a lot of representatives from chambers of commerce around the area in the last almost 2 weeks now, and the commonality is the networking, the connection between this business and that business. Okay, well, if you're having this issue, I just dealt with a business who was going through the same thing.
Right.
Let us connect you to. And I think that's an invaluable resource.
And I think people need to also understand that is really the purpose of the chamber. I mean, we are a networking vehicle. Sure, you get your name in the directory, you get your decal, you can sponsor different activities and things like that, but it really is trying to network businesses together so that they can sit and discuss different things. And that kind of rolls into one of the other features I know I had added as well about the roundtables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I haven't started that yet. That's actually going to be, the first one's going to be in November. I don't have the date yet. We're still working out the specifics on it. The roundtables are meant more for business owners to come in and to have an opportunity to express their opinion, their expertise on particular topics. So it's less informal than like our lunch and learns. They're a little more formal, but grab a cup of coffee, come in, sit at the table, talk to other business owners about different challenges. We'll definitely have a topic for that particular, roundtable for that month, but it's just to get an idea of everybody's opinion and their views on things. And I think that open dialogue and open discussion is what's important. And that's what's meant to happen is to, hey, we had this happen 2 months ago, like you were saying, how did you guys handle it? That's kind of why I'm incorporating these.
Because at the end of the day, everybody's there for the same goal, and you want to see everybody succeed and excel.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And so I know you've already talked about some of the value of being a member. What are some other things that would be of value to be part of the Chamber of Commerce in Tuscarora?
So one of the things I'm also working on is our website, and it's it's becoming a little more automated, which is what I'm trying to do. And one of the things I want to add on there are job posting features. In addition, of course, to the member directory, that's pretty standard, but also community-related events. Send me anything that you have about upcoming events that you're going to be doing, in the coming months. I'll put it on the website. We even have the option to allow people to RSVP to it, or even purchase tickets to it, or whatever you want to do. Just trying to make it a little bit more interactive for businesses to use that as a platform so they can reach out to their customers and to other business owners. There's a member section where you can actually go in and become a member of the website, and then you could talk to other people inside. You can message each other and talk about different topics. So it's more of a social platform in relation to that. Yeah.
And they just celebrated their 100th anniversary.
Wow.
Did you have any big celebration for the milestone?
So we were created in 1924. If you can believe, that, it's been quite a while.
Thank you for covering the math for Katy.
You're welcome. I just thought I would do that
her.
just in case anybody was counting backwards. 100 years. So actually, our big celebrations are going to be Tuesday at our annual banquet. So it's kind of a multifaceted event we're having. We're celebrating Business of the Year, Business Person of the Year, Educator of the Year, and we have our awards ceremony. But we're also, celebrating our 100th year anniversary. So we're going to have a cake and coffee and all sorts of things, and we're really excited about that.
I should have asked you this at the outset, so my apologies, but a lot of our viewers and listeners have probably heard of Tuscarora. Mm-hmm. Because for years it's been featured if there's a school closing or delay, mm-hmm. Tuscarora Area School District. But there may be some folks where their knowledge of Tuscarora ends with simply having heard about it. So can you take us through your geographic location? Mm-hmm. Where are you? Where can people visit the area that you cover? Take us through that if you would.
Sure. So the Tuscarora area is a very rural area. I would say Mercersburg tends to be kind of the focal point. It just tends to be because of a lot of the different activities that we're doing. But the area in and of itself encompasses Montgomery, Peters, St. Thomas, and Warren townships. So anyone in those vicinities are generally who I will, be contacting and working with businesses in those areas.
I remember it was, I believe, the year before last, is that the first year the Tractor Supply was there?
Yes.
And did a live broadcast there. Mm-hmm. And I had not been up in that area for a while, and I was amazed at how much it's grown.
It has.
To the point where there's a Tractor Supply and all these different businesses opening up, which is great.
Yeah.
Because it is, while it's close, depending on what you need, it can sometimes be rather isolated. Mm-hmm. Really, which is to me is a selling point.
Well, and that's part of the thing too. I mean, we're working. I work with other committees and other boards, like our vibrancy committee. We're working to look at ways to not only help the infrastructure of the area, but also to increase and entice businesses to come in. Obviously, I live personally in Mercersburg, so I'm just used to running all around Mercersburg myself, and it has grown, and I've been there since 1998. And I like the rural feel. I wanted to keep that rural feel, but yes, absolutely. We've got the land to have other businesses coming in, and even small businesses, mom and pop shops that want to come in that don't need a lot of real estate. Mm-hmm. We have that capability, and we have a lot of resources. We can help folks who want to start a business. They can reach out to the Development Council, and I can assist with that and help them to figure out the ins and outs of getting a loan and how to get the real estate and what you need to do to start your business anywhere, really. But yeah, it's grown quite a bit. Yeah. And you talk about Tractor Supply. Before we even had it in Mercersburg, I had to drive the whole way up into McConnellsburg, cross the mountain and now it's just convenient there. Right. It's great.
Well, take us through the, you mentioned about being out there a little bit, and of course I brought that up, and I agree, and I said that speaks to me because I would love to live out in the country, but this may not be your area of expertise, but I think we may have some folks who that may appeal to them, mm-hmm. being in that type of setting, just like it would be for me. Now, I'm not in the market to move, and I know real estate is not your area, but how does the real estate from a residential standpoint look in that area? Are there several developments? Are there any planned communities or anything that you know of?
I don't know for sure, but I understand that there is some real estate in the area around the Tractor Supply area, if you're familiar, which I know you're familiar with. that they're planning to build. I don't know if it's going to be single family or townhouses or what they're planning to do, but there is some sort of plan in the works right now. I don't know how far out they are on that because I'm not in the borough and finding out what they're doing specifically, but there's been rumors of that. And I think it's going to happen. I'm just not sure when.
And I think it's a good idea that we talk about that here, because if a business is considering expanding into that area, it's nice for them to know that there would be a planned community of, say, 200 homes. Okay, well, there's your clientele right there.
Right.
Potential.
Right.
I have been thinking about in the next few years here buying a home.
Oh, have you?
I have, and I spent, I don't know if you know this or not, Tiny, a couple of weeks ago, I spent a few hours in Mercersburg and parked my car, walked around the streets, went into a couple of the businesses, and really got a feel for the town, because a couple people from work had said, have you ever thought about Mercersburg? And I really felt that small town, quaint camaraderie amongst the residents. And that's my number one of places that I've been looking at to buy a house is in Mercersburg. I think there's a lot to offer for that wonderful little area.
There is. And there's a lot of history there too. You know, there's a lot of history. And, you know, even if you aren't looking into a home in the development, there are lots of beautiful old homes that are for sale around the area. And my home itself is 100 years old. Ooh. And I love it. And it's,
so it was built in 1924 when the chamber
was
also.
We are, yes.
We're learning.
Yeah, so we're celebrating 100 years for my house. But it's a beautiful, unique house. It's not a cookie cutter. It's got some cool features and the pocket doors and the hardwood floors and all that stuff, which I love.
Sure.
I love that.
What's something what is your favorite thing about living in Mercersburg?
I'd have to say, and again, this may be an acquired taste, but it gives you a very small town, safe, comfortable feeling. It's I'm not recommending this, but I mean, you almost feel like you could just leave your doors unlocked and not have to worry about, you know, high crime, a lot of, you know, shenanigans going on. It's quiet, you know.
But you don't want Katy moving in.
I don't. Okay, so we'll have to make sure.
I'm a little loud.
But it is. It's just a beautiful area, and I feel very safe, and I like that. And that's one of the reasons why we chose to live in Mercersburg with my children, is because I felt it would be a safe environment for them to be in.
And the school system is very, very obviously small population for the schools. So what was, if you know, the last graduating class was? I mean,
like how many?
Yeah, I've heard numbers.
I
like
don't
40
know.
Or something like that.
I'm not sure. It's small, but you know, it's funny. I used to be a substitute teacher at the high school, and the classes were small.
Did you say 40?
They're small classes, small graduating classes.
I don't know about 40.
Yeah, that may be off, but I remember that
that's
the
really
numbers,
low.
Yeah.
comparatively speaking, from what you hear,
Yeah.
you know, obviously the Hagerstown larger areas, which it would be smaller.
Oh my
but,
gosh, yeah.
You know, you hear those numbers and you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Ooh.
You know.
What about some upcoming events? What's going to be happening in Mercersburg as we move towards the holiday season?
Oh, okay. So we have our tree lighting ceremony. That's coming up November 30th. And that's downtown Mercersburg. And what we'll do is we have a tree that we put out in the square. It's usually around where the M&T Bank is. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the square. But it'll be set up there around the M&T Bank. I have Benchfield Farms is going to be doing carriage rides for us. So we'll have the horse-drawn carriages. The carriage seats about 8 to 12 people. We have a nice little area they're going to go around. And Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus are going to be there. And Mrs. Claus is going to be on the carriage doing, talking to the kids and saying some Christmas songs and stories with the kids. And then, of course, Santa, he's very, very busy. But he will be there sitting in the chair getting pictures taken with the kids as well. And then we have a lot of different vendors that are going to be out offering mulled cider, wassail, gingerbread cookies. We even have some spiked hot chocolate for the adults that are interested in that.
Nice.
Yeah, baked goods, you know, all kinds of cookies, cakes, and fun things like that. So
You're speaking our language.
I know. But it's only in the evening, and it runs from 6 to 8. So it's a small little ceremony that we do, and it's a fun thing we look forward to every year.
Of course.
Katie's used to having the spiked hot chocolate around noon as opposed to the evening. So
Yeah, that's me.
it'll be
Right
a
at
sacrifice
noon.
for her. You
We'll
know.
make you wait. Sorry.
She'll adjust, I'm sure. But
I'm sure.
Those small town events, I've seen more and more where, like, for instance, I live in Waynesboro, and the number of people who show up to like the Waynesboro tree lighting who aren't from Waynesboro. We have people who come from Williamsport, and Williamsport has a beautiful tree lighting, and all these small towns have that. But they just come to these places because there's that.
The feeling
that
is
feel.
contagious.
Yes.
It's
It
wonderful.
really
All
is.
community and
really
Christmas
is.
is just,
Yeah.
we've talked about this over the past week and a half. It just brings back all those wonderful memories. It does for me, it does for Katy, and I'm sure it does for you, and someplace like Mercersburg, which is just beautiful in general.
It is a beautiful place.
To be lit up for Christmas. All these towns around here, we're so fortunate that we live in all these small towns that take such pride in their holiday events and the lead up, and obviously, the parades, the tree lightings. It's wonderful. It really is.
Yep.
Kendra, before we wrap up here, I know we just have a minute or two left. If a business was thinking about joining the Chamber of Commerce, where would they go? How would they get started?
So they can go to tachamber.org. That's our website. And there's a contact me page, and it comes directly to me. They can also just email me directly, and my email is director@tachamber.org. Excuse me. But I'm always happy to talk to different businesses about what we offer, what we can do for them, what their particular challenges are, and then hopefully if they see value in it, they'll join the chamber and, become part of the community. So,
Do you have experience, I'm sure you do, with state grants and things of that
I
nature?
don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I don't.
I didn't know if there was potential incentives from the state for businesses to move into the chamber. Like, for instance, if the state would grant Tuscarora Chamber X amount of dollars, and then you would have the discretion to entice businesses to come in, but we can help you with this, or we can help you do your storefront, or we can pay for a power washing or whatever. I didn't know if that was.
At this point, no, but I do have resources that I can assist in through other organizations. So
That's good, because sometimes the grant writing can be.
yeah, I mean, that might be something down the road for me, but right now I haven't gotten into that part of it.
You said 5 months, so you're still
5 months.
you're getting your feet underneath
I
you
am
right now.
definitely trying to get my feet under
Next
me.
time you come here, you're going to say, well, Tiny, Katy, we have $1 million.
Look at all these grants that we
Look at all
have.
these things.
And we need people to come take this $1 million.
Yeah, look at this.
Kendra, thank you so much for spending some time with us today
thank
on
you.
Let's Talk Tri-State, and we really enjoyed having you on the show today.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to take a look at news and sports. It's all powered by 2A Arms LLC, 2A and PA Firearms and Freedom.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.